So week 2 is off to a fabulous start. I'm like super pumped because this topic that we're going to be covering this week is my passion. It is why I am loyal to Beachbody. It's why I'm still a coach 3 years later. The opportunities and the things that have been presented to us and available to all coaches, I have absorbed, I have taken advantage of, and through that, I have been able to overcome my fear. I was held back for 3 decades of my life, just absolutely paralyzed with fear, where I couldn't do anything, where I couldn't live, and Beachbody has given me that. It has given me a path to success, to happiness, an answer to so many of my problems, and it's helped me find myself. It's helped me realize a lot about who I am, why I am the way I am, and it's helped me realize that I'm a person that I should love. I am no longer ashamed of who I am, and it's made me really passionate and really like intimidatingly loyal to Beachbody. People don't understand that. People have told me like, I'll never feel that way about Beachbody. I'll never be that immersed in it. Well, when you feel really passionate about something, you want to never leave it. You want to keep that feeling going on. So for me, the passion that I have has been so evident to the outside world that strangers want what I have because they see that I'm not lying. I'm not just selling them something. I'm not just copying and pasting something to get them to join me, that I really feel this way. And through that, I have really added a chapter to my life that I didn't even know existed, because before becoming a coach, I was like, I'm boring. I don't know that many people. That's why one of the reasons I told Becky I couldn't become a coach, because I'm like, I don't know anybody. I'm like boring. I'm a mom who just drops her kids off at school, goes to work, picks them up, comes home, doesn't do anything. I have a boring life. Little did I know, now I'm like, I have the least boring life. It has nothing to do with Beachbody events or traveling or working out. It's that my life until now I thought was insignificant. But now I'm like, I have quite a story. I have a lot to tell. And I have even more to tell now, because it's not a story of being a victim to a bad beginning, a bad childhood, mistakes that have haunted me for years. It's that I now have the story, that I have the before and the after, and it's still going. And I really didn't realize until somebody came up and said something to me, somebody on our team, in October when we were in Miami at the Diamond Leadership Retreat that put on by Becky and Christina. She showed me a post. It was like a super duper long post. I'm a super duper long poster, and I talk a lot, so these videos are really hard to condense into a short, time frame. And she said, look at this, you just posted this, look at all the people who responded. And she's like, every time you have a post, and she's like, even myself, I read these posts, people watch your long videos, and people are coming out of the woodworks telling you stuff, and they respond. And she's like, I can't get that, what is that? And Melissa Bartow, who's one of my childhood best friends, was sitting beside me. She's one of my Diamond coaches. She was like, because she was like, Mindy shares everything. She's like, there's nothing that she doesn't share. Everybody knows everything about her, so they're loyal. They've watched her grow, and with everything that she shares, there's always a point to it. She's not just talking just to talk. She's there because she's sharing her story and being so open and honest. Is because she wants to help you somehow, or help somebody out there through her story. And she created a loyal following. And then somebody asked me the other day, well, when did you start becoming so open? At what point in your career? And, I always hesitate answering those questions, because I don't want people thinking that, okay, by that mark, whenever Mindy started doing it or making that much money or hit rank, that's like, I have to hit that mark. And if I don't, then I suck. So I want you to realize that everybody grows at a different pace, and everybody starts at a different level, and everybody has a lot of junk that they are trying to overcome, and you never know what it is that they're struggling with. But for me, I wasn't really engaging in personal development. I don't think it was really emphasized as much. Well, it was probably because I wasn't getting on any calls, and it wasn't consistent. I was just working my business through Facebook and helping people. I didn't dig into it, but I started listening to the Craig Holiday series that used to be offered through the Coach Online Office, and it something hit me. I was like, oh wow, I just always thought that these successful people were just natural born successful people, and they grew up from babies into successful adults. That was destined to only a few people, and that I was surely not one of those. And then I was like, oh my God, that gives me hope. And so I started, changing my mindset. But it wasn't until I went to Danny Johnson in the end of January, almost a year into me becoming a coach, that I went to the seminar where I got the most out of it. There was no distractions. I was in Dallas. I didn't have to take care of kids. And I was totally immersed in what she was saying, that I had all these aha moments about, you don't tell people stuff because you judge people and you're afraid they're going to judge you. You steer away from people because you don't know how to forgive, because you are harboring some resentment towards somebody from your past, and you really can't live until you learn to forgive somebody. And she talked about how understanding the personalities of people, and then understanding how to control your emotions and get to know people and figure out what they're struggling with, to not take things personally. And there was just this plethora of information over the course of 2 days that changed my life, sold me on personal development, and I instantly came home and started implementing it. I didn't sit there and say, oh, well, that could apply to somebody else, or, oh, that really made me uncomfortable. This is just who I am. I'm not going to implement that. I did that right away. And I went out and told everybody. And the next thing you know, everybody's buying Danny Johnson books and attending Danny Johnson seminars, because I felt so passionate, because I had the results, because I was sharing it. And that has helped me become very open and candid about my story. It's helped people connect with me. It's helped them understand me. It's helped them give them the hope that, wow, she came from here and she had all this junk and baggage and failures and, no motivation, no drive. And look at who she is and what she's become. And look at the people she's helped. And look at the people who flock to her, because she still is compassionate, because she still remembers that. That's why people have, drawn to me. So when I talked about the 3 vital behaviors on day 1, it was because I wanted you to know why they're important and that they are crucial to your success when they're paired together. You can't just work out and talk to people about it when your mindset is bad, when you have a bad attitude, when you are judgmental, when you assume things about people and then hold it against them, when you don't take time to listen to them and you're too busy talking about selling because you're selfish about what you're trying to do. I learned how to build relationships. I've shared with people. Now, I don't just practice what I learned and try to build relationships with people. I teach them how to build relationships. So that's how I've developed my story. It's just getting out there and sharing it and connecting with people, and your story will keep being written, and there will be different facets to your story when you talk to people. Your story, though, doesn't have to be, delivered all at once. You don't have to bear all like I do. You don't have to have the same story as me. You don't have to have the same story as Becky or Christina or any of these leaders or any of these people you follow, because that's not your story. I think so many people see other people with these, outrageous success stories about overcoming all these different things. Like Melissa McAllister was told she wouldn't be able to walk. They were going to amputate her feet. And so she has this heroic story. People have stories of living in Section 8 housing and, being homeless and then becoming amazing top coaches. People have all these stories of being in, 6 figures in debt, and then now they've been a top coach. And so I think people out there feel that their story has to be just like that, and so that they don't share their story. My thing is that my call to action to you today is tell me what you have seen changes in. Do not limit it to something that can be written in numbers, by the scale, by the size of your clothes, by measurements, but I want you to make a list, and this is something that don't just write it down in the next 5 minutes, but make a list of everything that has changed about your life since you became a coach, or what it is that your coach shared with you that made you want to become a coach, that made you decide to become a coach. This is part of your story. I want to see it. I want you to post in the comment section below what it is that is different now than when you became a coach, or what it is that made you join as a coach that you want to happen if you're a new coach. Because I want you to learn to develop your story and realize that it doesn't have to match mine. It doesn't have to match anybody else. And it has nothing to do with anything physical that is going to draw people. I want you to focus on you and learning you and learning how to tell your story. So this is going to be really monumental when you learn how to perfect your pitch of your story without worrying about if it's better or worse or more inspiring or less inspiring than the next coach. So I look forward to reading your responses and seeing you share them with the world.